So kind of boiling down, I appreciate your time being up there and everything. But as Mike mentioned in the beginning, all of us built very, very, very large teams of another company that just scammed out. And, I mean, tens of thousands of people lost a fortune. So that's the mindset that we're coming from. We've all done this for a very, very long time, so it's nothing new. And Flavia, I was glad that you mentioned that you guys have experienced that same thing, right? So the two things is, all right, there's an unlimited, infinite amount of opportunities out there in the crypto space that you can choose to be involved in, right? So if I'm going to target my efforts, build this company, one, I want to know that it's going to last, so I don't spend all this time, energy, and effort, and then it falls apart and goes away. And two, I want to make sure that you guys don't just pull the plug in the middle of the night, walk away with all the money like that. So kind of circling back in the beginning with what you were talking about with Billy, and you said in the next, 3 to 6 months that you'd probably be at the buck 10 and be able to do the hedge fund, and that would resolve that. But between now and that time, is it like a minefield in the U.S. without having that documentation? Is there a big risk in that middle ground?
Oh, we have already registered in the state level, right? The only difference between the buck 10 really just to be able to get, those licenses, those credentials. Our traders themselves are licensed, and we have registrations here in the state to work as of right now. As far as how long the term and the companies and all that stuff, what happened, I think the biggest and most important things like this. We, in the next 3 to 6 months, we plan to meet a lot of you guys. We plan to spend a lot of time with you guys. We share a lot of our personal information. We have a lot of nothing that we really hide. Our names, our documents, whatever you guys ever needed, I've shared it. We show our broker accounts. We show how the transactions in there are going. That's just to kind of try to show as much transparency as possible between us and you guys. We are the people in front of the business that takes the responsibility of the business, of course. And this is why we have those initial state registrations with our names on. Okay? So I think that's just one of the ways. The other way is we're going to be introducing our terms and agreement, our disclaimers, and also contracts for everyone. Once people will be able to get those contracts, we should have that by early next week, and everyone will go through the contracts and at least feel a little bit safer having those contracts as well. Yeah, we're going to do that. So how do you answer the guy who just lost a lot of money? And I had multiple people, including myself, that lost multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in this last deal. Okay? So, and, anytime you take your crypto and give it to someone else, and we've looked at these other bots where your money stays in your own account, you API it, and just do it that way, right? And that way you're safe. But when we take and transfer that ownership, there's always that risk. So how would you address that? How would we best address that with you guys? So I think, Ken, to answer your question, I think first I would like to understand each person. I'm just going to put it in, like, let's say I would speak to somebody individually and they have this question for me. My first thing is understanding, what makes them feel safe, and we can show them the part of us that makes them feel safe. We have the binary bot for that reason. I'm sure you guys are not going to be using it because it's here in the U.S. But we wanted people to have some sort of feel safe that they can also have the option to put the funds somewhere else. That was one of the things. The second thing is by showing them what we're really doing, transparency. It's hard for a company that's a real company, right? A real company to come to you and actually show what we're showing, which is actual TDameritade accounts, showing interactive broker accounts, and actually showing transactions that we're doing, trading live in front of them. And the third, of course, documentations, whatever they need, we can provide, make them feel safe.
But the most important part is we are not aggressive. Let me tell you guys something. We love, now we are growing, but we are not desperate to grow. Maybe you guys don't, I don't want you guys to take this the wrong way. We're not, when I say we're not desperate to grow, is because we like for people to come, try it out, get the taste of it. Well, now you like it. Now you're growing. Okay, I got my capital back. Let me reinvest some more. And kind of build the trust. I think that's one of the biggest thing with us. Because we don't have that time limit, right? That it's gonna run out with people joining it. I know what other companies they just want to go crazy at it, bust out, get as many as they can, and that they'll know how much time they'll have. We don't have that rush. We don't have that desperation. Where right now, I know if we're managing this and not another dollar came into the company, we can still keep managing this with no problem and no headaches. You see what I mean? So we like to show them transparency. First off, if they don't feel that way, then we can have our chief compliance officers involved, and a lot of people that want to ask these tough questions, have our entire team involved. And not only that, at the end of the day, give them and here's the best part, is after 1 month or whenever, you can just pull your capital out, like, where do you pull your capital out? You pull your money in there, and God knows when you're going to see your money again. But we actually done it where you can pull your capital out. We want people to do that. Try that. The only reason why we introduced this 20% in the first 30 days is because of the bonus.
I got it.
It was the only reason.
Well, no,
even if not,
they play.
Pull your capital out. We love when people pull their capital out. They need double. They do it to test us, and then they put double the amount later. And I love that. So that's why I think we have a winning strategy. People aren't stuck with us.